Hello and good day, Andrew.
Hi, good
We're,
day.
we're very, very fortunate and delighted to have Andrew with us today. He's a human behavioral analysis consultant, and he will be sharing something very interesting and educative for all parents out there. Andrew, this is
Hey,
quite a mouthful. Can you kindly introduce yourself and your background, please?
okay. Well, Steve, I used to be working with the corporate for more
Okay,
than 30 years. I was
okay,
a sales leader looking after the Asia Pacific market. And sometime in 2015, I decided to come out and do something on my own. And so I started my own company, Soong Training and Consultancy. And with that, I've been doing this for almost, in fact, more than 5 years now. And I've really enjoying it because I'm adding value to people in the corporate, those who are young leaders. But more importantly, now I found a new area that I would like to add value to, and that is the area of parenting. And why parenting? Because, as you know, we are also the leaders of our families. So I will have a lot of things to share. So thank you for having me.
thank you so much. It's quite not an easy task taking care of children.
Oh, yes.
This is obvious and it's known to everybody unless you don't have a child.
All right.
It is a difficult venture and there is no school to acquire the knowledge.
Right.
Many parents find it difficult using same method to train all their kids and not getting required results.
I
Of
see.
course, no parents want their children to fail. And for the matter, parents always blame themselves for not bringing up their children well. How can knowing our children's behavioral styles help parents to get focused and be effective in handling and guiding their children?
Very good questions. Actually, excellent questions.
Thank you.
You are absolutely right that a lot of us parents, we tend to bring our children up the best way we think we know. And usually it's because of the way our parents brought us up, right? And we tend to follow that because we felt it was a success. But in reality, it's not really a success. We at that time had no choice. We also had to follow what our parents said. And so when we apply the same method to our children today, you must understand our children today are different from us many years ago. They today have so much information at their fingertips. They have Google. They can just, get that information that they want. So the way we handle our children cannot be the same way as our fathers did to us. We cannot keep doing the top down. Each child has its own particular behavioral style.
That's so insightful. So, what you are trying to say is if we know the behavioral style of our children, we can easily create an enabling environment that will make them successful. Some children are unable to concentrate on their studies for an hour. They get restless about around 15 to 20 minutes
Yeah.
and lose focus completely. Of
Mhm.
course, parents will reprimand them, and then the whole situation descends into a chaos and become very, very stressful.
Yes.
What can be done to help such children to focus on their studies?
Well, the children's focus, or rather, the attention span for these kind of children is typically around 15, 20, maximum 30 minutes. Because the parents don't understand that the child needs a rest, a break from after concentrating for 20, 30 minutes, the parent insists that the child needs to continue for the full hour. But when the child reaches that maximum limit, whatever he or she does cannot go in. There's nothing else that can go in anymore. They will start making mistakes. If they're doing mathematics, you will find that they'll start making mistakes because they can no longer concentrate.
You're right. Knowledge is power.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Andrew, for sharing with us.
You're
The
most
way
welcome.
the way you put it, it all seems so simple. There are complaints with parents with grown-up kids having strained relationships with their children.
Hmm.
As the children are growing up to become adults, the closeness is reducing. Can you shed light on the reason for this?
Okay. Now, these things, relationship issues, are not something that happen overnight. It has taken a little bit more time, right? And because, like I said, Asian parents tend to use a top-down approach. And because we don't understand our children, we don't know their behavioral style, their behavioral language, we continue to use that style with a child. When you use top-down, you're basically showing negativity to the child. The child receives negativity from you, right? Now, the child, unlike your worker in the office, if you're a leader, a parent, a leader in the office, you cannot treat your workers the same way as you treat your child. Why? Because they are adults. They can stand their ground. They can say, no, boss, I don't like the way you speak to me. I don't like the way you treat me. Here is my resignation letter. I'm going to resign. I'm going to work somewhere else. Okay. They have the opportunity and the ability to do so. Unfortunately, our children cannot resign on us. They are our children. So they continue to absorb the negativity from you or from us as parents.
Yeah. Thank you so much. The way you are analyzing the solution is making it more interesting. So how can I and other parents learn more about this program for families?
Okay. So we're going to have a webinar, a parenting webinar,
okay,
where I will explain to the parents who are coming how to roughly guess their child's behavioral style. Because at the webinar, I will show them the 4 different styles. And as I walk through the 4 different styles, I would want the parents to think about the different behavioral styles. Is that my child? So they will have a rough idea of, is that their child? Then I will explain to them how this child reacts when they're under stress, and also how the parent can use certain words, certain phrases to connect with the child's giftedness. Remember, we're trying to look for the child's giftedness and strength. If we can nurture the child and communicate and connect and motivate the child in a way whereby we can connect with their giftedness and strength, we as parents can start preparing our children for success. But if we continue to use top-down, the children will not connect with us. And as you said, the relationship will sour and strain. But if we can keep the relationship tight as they are about maybe 8 years old to about 12, and then into the teenage years, if we can keep that relationship with them and continue to motivate them and nurture them in their strength zone, in their giftedness, they will be successful adults. And that's exactly what most parents want. So come to the webinar. I will explain. I will even give you some parenting tips to take away so that the parents can immediately utilize it.
I think this is a very small investment to make for a lifetime.
Yes.
This is a great opportunity to start planting the seeds for our own families.
Yes.
And how much is this webinar, Andrew?
Well, the webinar is free.
Wow.
I just want to impart the knowledge to the parents. It's not about the money. It's about helping the parents bridge the relationship. Because a lot of parents are working from home. And yes, so are the children. They are at home because they can't go to school because of the situation. And so the children are deprived of the usual friends, classmates, activities. And they only have the parents, right? And so they need that energy and company. But the parents are also busy. Parents have to attend to Zoom, work, etc. So the children have no one to have a relationship with, right? So they tend to act up because they're stressed. They're in a different environment, 24/7 at home versus partly in school, partly at home. So coming to this webinar, I want to help the parents understand why are the children behaving the way they are. So instead of scolding the children, if they can understand what the children is, what's happening to the child, they will be able to at least help the child. And they themselves will not be that stressed. And so they can become a happy parent and a happy worker.
Wow. Thank you, Andrew, for the sharing today. You are really sharing from wealth of experience.
Yes.
And I think all our parents will be very, very grateful to be part of this webinar.
Yes, yes.
And I know I will be there. Definitely, I will be part of the webinar. I will be there on that day.
Oh, I look forward to you being there.
Thank you so much. See you soon, Andrew. Bye.
Bye. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.